number 3, the 2020 preliminary budget. And we're going to get another report.
Yes, you are.
We don't have to race.
Okay. We are going to start with animal control. Everybody should have it in their packets. Really no change for animal control for 2020. The budget's set at $565.
You only used the 60 this year?
Yes. And that was just for the animal tags and books and stuff. So we haven't had to call anybody to come and collect any animals.
What was that budget?
$565.
Okay.
It's in the, it should be in your front pouch.
Oh, in the pouch. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Got it. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All set. Continue.
The next is street department, and that is at $250,295. That is a 9% increase over 2019. The majority of that is wages, healthcare, and capital equipment.
Standard.
Standard,
Okay.
yes. Yep. If there's no questions for that one, snow and ice control. That budget is set at $38,350. That is an increase over last year of $9,840. Just because going back the previous years, getting an average of their time, the gas and oil, it's, in the past we've been spending more, so I increased it to, and we're supposed to have a lot more snow this winter, so for January and February, we might be putting in more hours.
Rather err on the side of caution with over budget
Yes.
than under budgeting. So
This overtime or you guys are?
Pardon?
What?
We just material.
It's their wages, their time, not just overtime, straight time when they're here during the day. But if they have to have overtime, that's also included.
So they use that on their, what they get paid against or whatever?
Yeah.
They put, yeah, on their timesheets, they always allocate to street or snow or cemetery or whatever enterprise fund they're working in for those
It's
hours.
offset.
It's put to each department.
I was just kind of curious.
she works the total backwards.
Yes.
Okay.
The next is Public Works Building, and that's at $8,640. Not much of a change there, slight decrease. But basically it's just property insurance and the utilities and the gas utilities.
Okay.
The next one is the Recreation Department budget, and that's at $20,205, a decrease of $2,310. That's our standard summer labor, the rink attendance, the insurance, the utilities for at the skate shack. So, no, nothing new in that budget.
No further questions? Keep moving.
Campground, that's at $620. That's down $710, just because we only have one porta potty there now instead of 2 during the season. So the other one's at the beach.
Transgender.
It's
This has a
it's
lot.
an all.
Okay, next, senior
Senior
center.
center, that's at $10,429. That's a decrease of $4,481. We did put in capital equipment, $5,000 for next year because they have not spent their $5,000 for this year, and they are asking that it be put into a capital account for them for next year.
Similar to carryover,
Yes.
that's all it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the piece of equipment they're buying, they've raised the money for themselves, so they don't need this money for that.
Put a new dishwasher in there 2 years ago. And city put in 5 and their people put in 7 or 8.
Oh, that's great, okay.
You know, they raised it, and plus they have a few bucks in the pot. So,
Pretty big dishwasher, well, those big automatic.
well, they were,
ones.
yeah, I mean, they needed.
They're not cheap.
No.
Next is the community center, and that's at $10,683. No change from the 2019 budget, really. And next is Lake Leander. That's at $467, and that's just insurance and county fees that we have to pay.
Did we ever get our appraisal back yet?
I've called them a couple times. I don't know if something maybe.
I'll see him in the near future. I'll ask him.
Okay.
I see him once in a while on Thursday.
And that's it for the departments this week.
Okay, it looks good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go on to reports from department heads. Public Works is not here. Fire and ambulance, Stuart, you said you really have nothing to add, okay. Engineering, we're just waiting for our attorney to get an easement done, and then we hope to be going out for bids for the water and sewer project fairly soon. The attorney, he'll be here. Remember, our next meeting's not till for a while, next month, because we had to move this one up. Long range planning and zoning, they have not met since they canceled their last one. Recreation board, there is none. We're still looking for applicants. The library board, we did get minutes from their last meeting, and this is posted up at the library if anybody is interested. BETA, we just met tonight, and it was pretty routine. I will make one comment about BETA at the end of the meeting that we had a discussion on. The sheriff, we got a report last time, I believe, correct?
Yeah, we'll get one.
Clerk, you're up, Ryan.
Just a couple things. A newsletter went out last week, just kind of outlining calendar parking starting and just reminding residents to kind of be aware of different winter ordinances so we can get the streets cleared in a timely fashion. Also, the boilers at City Hall, they're continuing to work on that. We're hoping in the next day or two they should be up and running. They're high efficiency boilers, so there is also a $2,500 rebate from Minnesota Energy that we will qualify and submit for. And along those lines as well, since we had kind of that carbon monoxide issue, we're having the boilers at the library and fire hall just kind of serviced and checked, and there is also a Minnesota Energy rebate for that, which should cover that cost. But just in the interest of safety, it sounded like a good idea. The school boilers the one is good to go. Boiler 2 that we're gonna put on low flame sometime this week. Boiler 1 needs some repairs to some tubes in there, so there's an outfit coming out of Duluth in the next day or two to kind of get that all back together, have it re-inspected, and be ready to go for the winter.
That it?
I think that's
Any questions from the council? Okay. Central Iron Range Sanitary Sewer District, we have a meeting coming up on the Wednesday, 11/13. That's a change. Normally we have it on that Monday, but there's conflict with Veterans Day that day, and then Tuesday didn't work. So we'll report back on that at the next meeting that we have for the city council. So next up is 5 council additions to the agenda. I have no additions. Ryan, do you have anything? Is there a motion to approve the agenda for this meeting?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, moved by Stuart. Is there support? Support by Jim. Further comment or discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. Citizens Forum. Anybody sign up, Ryan?
No, we're good.
Okay, we'll move on. On to page 2 already. The consent agenda. The minutes of the regular city council meeting of October 15th, 2019. And the claims are payroll number 21, $11,270.09. October, $1,850. Accounts payable, $10,395.32 for a grand total of $23,515.41. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda for $23,515.41.
Is there support? Support. Support by Jim, motion by John. Further comment or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Okay, now we're into the business section. A, the waste management agreement, discussion, approve or reject. Ryan, do you just want to highlight this real quick for us?
Yep, this is just the standard renewal agreement with Waste Management that will go for 5 years. Everything's gonna remain the same. In town, we're going with the least option for recycling. The bins will remain at the school. So basically, the city's been happy with Waste Management. They're very, they'll answer our questions, replace bins if they break them, so.
And a lot of citizens said that boy. They didn't want to do the 2 bins or do any changes. They're happy with Waste Management.
Okay.
So I had a lot of comments that,
I didn't have many, but I'm real happy the way we ended up going to. I mean, we looked at another option, but and it seems like the recycling's really working up there.
It is.
It's a lot cleaner and
those increases that they were talking about is based on the cost of fuel. So I mean, if the fuel goes up, they're asking for a little bit, but if fuel doesn't go up, it stays kind of the same.
we're locked in.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's the way I thought I read it.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the.
Okay, motion by Stuart, is there support?
Support.
Support by John. Further comment or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign, motion is carried. We'll now move on to liquor license renewals, discussion. Ryan, do you just want to highlight that? We're gonna have to have 3 different motions here for the 3 different, but this is standard, it happens every year?
Yep, this is standard procedure. The establishments in town have to provide, their filled out renewal form plus their liquor liability insurance, and they need to be current on utility bills or any other loans or anything that they have with the city or a city subsidiary. After the council approve, it will be sent to the St. Louis County Sheriff's Office and then off to the state for renewal.
Okay. Okay, is there a motion to approve the liquor license for Jimmy Scraggs LLC / Hideaway?
I make a motion to approve liquor license for Jimmy Scraggs LLC Hideaway.
I'll support.
Okay, further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Abstain, the mayor. Okay. Motion to approve the liquor license for Billy's Pit Stop Pub and Grub. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to
Motion.
approve their liquor license for Billy's Pit Stop Pub and Grub.
Okay, motion by John, is there support?
Support.
Support by Jim. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign, motion is carried. Motion to approve liquor license for the Buhl Curling Club. I will make that motion, is there support?
I'll support.
Okay, motion Claire, support Stewart. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign, motion is carried. Next is the shortstop sidewalk access, and this is a discussion. Ryan, do you just want to overview this, and then we can step in if we have to?
Yeah, I mean, basically the city's had some requests from a few different residents about the possibility of putting kind of a sidewalk or some easier access to shortstop with this new location and everything, and obviously we'll look into it and try to figure out what's going to be best for residents and supporting our businesses and things like that. So.
And earlier this evening on Beta, we did talk about this extensively at Beta too. So that's what I was going to say. I was going to talk about this a little bit later. And we are talking about maybe having a bike lane there too or something, but we definitely do not want it for 4-wheelers or any other motorized vehicles. That's strictly for walking, potentially biking, pedal biking. So we're looking at that.
There's enough room there to post that
Keep it.
exit.
Okay.
I mean, you can keep the 4-wheelers off there. Post it so we can still keep the snow out of there.
Okay.
You can run the loader into the ditch going west, in between the posts. I mean, it might be a little shoveling there, but Well, basically not, because we usually run our skid steer up there with the bucket or the snow blower.
So it can fit in there real easy.
Yeah, you just post it, so paint it and post it and, yeah. And then I know there's also mention of making a crosswalk, painting the entrance crosswalk going into the nursing home.
I think we should do that too.
From that side over there. From
Yeah,
the west side going.
Wouldn't you just continue it from the hockey rink, that sidewalk, on the same side of the street, right to the shortstop?
But there's no
Well,
sidewalk
there's
on
a
that
drainage
side.
ditch there. Okay, all that water from the skating rink and even some from the baseball fields goes down that ditch. And it's right next to the shoulder there if you look. I mean, there's a little bit there, but not much. So that's why I'm suggesting that the shoulder's gotta be 6-8 feet. I would say 8 feet even.
So you're talking on the nursing home side?
No, the other
The other
side.
side, where the sidewalk will go.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, that's what extension from the,
But the crosswalk then will have to go more to where they can walk out from the,
didn't we talk about this a couple
Nursing home.
years ago, John, where
Yeah.
we were talking about putting a sidewalk, but we just didn't, because there's a wide enough paved shoulder there that,
But yeah, we could paint that and post that off, so the four-wheelers, it's used for walking and biking.
basically.
I mean,
well, four-wheelers aren't supposed to be on sidewalks anyway.
No, I know.
But they do take shortcuts.
But
Well, I know, but-
I've seen them ride the
I
shoulder.
mean, they're not supposed to.
No, but I mean, if we put a few posts there, we can prevent that from happening, I think.
And also, I talked with Commissioner Jugovich, who works with us, and then I asked him to look into this for us. Is that is a county road that goes right there on Forest, and I thought maybe the county might be able to do something with helping us with the sidewalk, because it's their road and it's an extension of that road technically. So he was going to look into with the county engineer, and I've set up a meeting with him at City Hall to talk about that, talk about the school, and a couple other issues that we have in town about the traffic for the big trucks when they hauled it. We were going to move it up to the other side and get some background information from the county engineer. I know that Laura had brought up some questions about that road wasn't built to hold truck traffic, and it wasn't, and John had brought up how it's wide, so we want to make the the final right decision, and also get a hold of the truckers so that they know what they're supposed to be doing. We try to put a stop to some of this Jake braking, running a little bit through the stop signs, and some of the mess that they leave. So we'll bring that up with Commissioner Jugovich this Thursday also. So that's where we're at there. So
Really, the space-wise is right at the corner. There's a telephone boxes there, there's our culverts there, where the water goes south. It's right, the first 20 feet, I don't know if you build a little bridge there so we can move it over and more into the ground, I don't know. But that's the problem with, if you don't use a shoulder and try to make it on the west side of the shoulder, right at the intersection is the problem. Because there's a culvert there, there's a telephone box there, there's, fiber optics or whatever's there. But they're right there.
we'll have to look,
Yeah. But then you get past it, and then there's a little road to the right where some people park once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a little more land towards the shortstop, but right at the initial intersection, we'd have to look at that. Instead of using the shoulder, I'm saying.
maybe we'll go up there and look on it.
Yeah.
And we have the commission, I'll just let him see what we're talking about there
Yeah.
too, so. Okay, I don't see that we have to do any action here because we did talk about this at BETA. Eventually, we're hoping to get some county help with this. This might come through the BETA budget, I'm not sure. That'll be a discussion for BETA to take on later on, but I do think it's needed. The shortstop is quite busy. I notice anywhere from senior citizens to young kids walking up there constantly, and it is also a heavy traffic. That's the main entrance into Buhl. First one coming from the west, so we want to look at that. So we'll just keep this hot on the press, and hopefully this spring we'll be going out for bids to put something in there. Okay, so then we'll move on to other business council comments. Stuart?
I have nothing.
John?
Just keep following up with our blight tickets or notices.
We'll probably make one more run. The weather's holding, so probably do that one more time. Anything else, John?
No.
Okay. Jim?
No, reading the minutes of the library board meeting, they had some kids plug the toilet there. There wasn't any damage to down there, water damage, was there?
No, there wasn't any water. It was
Okay.
They made a mess essentially. There have been a few instances. There was one last year where
Yeah, we've had that happen before too.
Okay.
So they
That's
were
your question, Jim?
Yeah, I was just reading, I don't know if there
I
was
didn't
any
get a chance to
damage
read
down
that,
there
just
or.
marked those. I think they would have known about it by
Well, it's
now.
like the school, it's all marble floor, and then there's a kick plate that's all sealed off. I mean, you can't damage sheetrock because there is none.
Yeah,
And there's a few drains in both of those rooms. And then there's one in the boiler room. So, I mean, anything can damage it, but
well, I was just reading it in these minutes here, when I read the minutes of the library board meeting, I saw that, I was just wondering if there's any damage occurred from that.
Yeah, no, there was no damage. I know Trent went up there too. I think he put different locks on the stalls, and then Carrie was, like you see at some gas stations where you have to get the key to go down there and what. I mean, just
oh yeah,
kind of.
It's a good way to do it. Then you know.
Yeah, then you know who's going in there.
yeah, smart.
Yeah. You think it's troubles there? Run an elementary or high school. You see it happen there all the time. Okay, one of the my comments are gonna. I talked about Commissioner Jurgovich coming in the sidewalks. We're gonna kind of prioritize it a little bit, but also cameras. We're getting those cameras installed slow but sure. And Ryan, you just want to highlight that we're putting a few up where we're going to put them, and they will be monitored, so that people understand we have. So it's for crime prevention, for vandalism prevention, things of that nature. We're not out there to look to arrest anyone for speeding or running a stop sign. What we're there for is to cut down on potential crime and vandalism. And Ryan, where are we going to put them all now?
I mean, basically, we did a walkthrough late last week, and right now we're going to place cameras at the entrances to town.
And at the compost pile, we hope.
Yeah,
Because we're having troubles there.
Yeah, we're working on a few different options just to kind of keep things cost effective.
And the one coming in, the one up coming in from the entrance by the old shortstop, that will also kind of survey the recycling bins a little bit too, so that if somebody drops off something that's inappropriate or whatever, we'll have an eye in the sky there too. So
There is an outside light on the back of the garage building there that mounting a camera there is no big deal.
okay.
You know, just to cover actually the school and the recycling area.
So over time, we'll probably get more added.
Yeah, we just need the basic concept of putting the system in. And we can always add to this if you have problems in different parts of this town. And they can be moved around, so.
Okay. Okay, the only other thing I'd like to add is that the next council meeting isn't until November 19th. This meeting actually is our November meeting because the school district's having a special election. We cannot hold our regular scheduled council meeting, so we moved it up to this week. So then we will have our next meeting will not be until November 19th. And once again, that will also start at 6 o'clock as we're talking about budgetary items that by law we have to do it at that time. So, is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Motion by Stuart. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Jim. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carrying. Meeting adjourned.